everybody, I'm Theresa from Phoenix Gate Crafts. This is my very first YouTube upload, so I apologize for any mistakes, errors, quality control issues that may arise. I want to thank my wonderful, awesome cameraman, my hubby, because without him, this sure as heck wouldn't be happening. So, I'm a big follower of YouTube, and I really like knitting, crocheting, and all the fiber arts. Well, most of them. And one thing I've noticed recently is that although there are a lot of YouTube tutorials for things in knitting or crochet, there's not a lot of talk about certain aspects of the crafts. So I've been a follower. I'm part of some Facebook groups for knitting and crochet specifically that I really enjoy, but they ask a lot of questions that I've noticed don't really get answered on YouTube very often or as thoroughly as I would like. Now, everybody I watch is amazing, and the quality of a lot of the YouTube videos are wonderful, and that's actually one of the reasons I'm not doing tutorials is I don't have the equipment and nor am I inclined to purchase it. Plus it's all been done at least 2 times over, oftentimes 10. So I'm doing this thing, which is answering questions that get asked a lot on Facebook and other group posts. But what am I qualified for this? Well, I've been doing different fiber arts for pretty much my entire life. I got started in needlepoint when I was 3. Now, don't worry, my mom did not give me any sharp and pointy objects, but what she did do is, you remember those cardboard cutouts that had like the Little Mermaid or butterfly or flowers or something on them, and you could sew yarn through it that looked like shoelaces? When I was 3, you make a lot of knots, but by the time I was handed those in kindergarten, I had managed to figure out how to make my stitches look neat. By the time I was 10, I was actually on 2 actual needles, and when I was in 7th grade, we had an exploratory class for 2 months where we did actual needlepoint and cross stitch, and that got me into some of the finer aspects. This is actually something I made a little while ago that was needlepoint, because I still do it on occasion. Not as often as I used to, but I found a few other things since then. My mom used to love to sew, and she would do, she made like all of my baby clothes, or at least a good portion of them. And when I was in high school, I actually learned how to sew. This was actually something I made in high school. Don't worry, no zebras were killed in the making of this wonderful felt, but I made this in high school as a sewing project for class. It was technically fashion and design, but we didn't do much of fashion or design. And then at about the same time, I was doing dance, and as I was waiting for my class to start, there was a mom there who was waiting for her daughter to get out of the class before mine, and I noticed she was doing this really cool thing with this funky little hook, and I wound up asking her what it was, and she explained crochet to me, and I mostly learned from watching her hands. And the next week I had gone to Joann Fabrics and picked up some random yarn. I don't have any at the moment, but it was the Patty Green in Red Heart Super Saver, and a hook that a wonderful assistant helped me to get, but it was totally the wrong hook for the yarn, but it's worked out because the lady was able to teach me crochet. And I made a scarf. Some of it was super tight and some of it was super loose, but I figured out some tension, and I have been crocheting ever since. This is actually a dice bag I made in crochet. I made this a little while ago. Then after that, I met a friend who's actually got me into beading. That's another hobby of mine that I've been doing for a bit. I probably should have detangled this before trying to reach in and grab it, but I still bead quite a bit. And last but not least, my most recent passion has been knitting. So about a year ago, one of my friends recommended that I look at YouTube for tutorials to get better at crocheting, because I knew 2 stitches and that was it. So my ability has really taken off in that, and I've kind of hit a plateau with crochet where I could probably do just about anything that I wanted. So I wanted to keep learning, and the next logical thing was knitting. And out of all the crafts that I have done over the years, knitting has been the one that I took to the least easily. But I did manage to knit this hat yesterday, so I'm doing pretty okay. But every question that has come up in the Facebook chats has been something that I've wondered and that I have tried looking on YouTube for or across the internet, and I haven't necessarily been able to find. So I wanted to be able to help others as I'm learning this stuff, so that I can help other people to be able to learn this as well. So my idea is to post a not super long video about various topics. I've got a few planned out, things like how to choose colors that go together, how big should your yarn stash be. I think this is suitable, but my husband does not. He thinks it's way too big. Different kinds of yarns for different project types. How do you deal with smelly yarn balls? Hook and needle organization, just a whole bunch of different things that hopefully will help you choose your project, so that when you actually watch the tutorial on your project, you have a better idea of how to figure out your end of it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to post a new video every Saturday. So see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.